Due to the workload in D.C., Congressman Kerry and Secretary of State Franklin LaRose were unable to join us here today, but fortunately, we're able to record a speech test via video. We are looking forward to see what they both have to say tonight. Let's roll the tape.
I'd like to take a moment and thank the Somali American Chamber of Commerce for allowing me this opportunity to speak. I wish I could be there in person to toast your accomplishments. You know, this organization has a special place in my heart. I'm proud to represent such a diverse congressional district where so many of my neighbors, and more importantly my friends, are members of this Somali American community. That's why I'm glad for the opportunity to honor the hard work of the Somali American Chamber. Your efforts in boosting Ohio's economy, believe me, have not gone unnoticed. Somali American workers are helping revive vital industries from the manufacturing to the service sector. Tax dollars from these Somali American businesses are helping fund our schools and our transportation projects. And the Somali American culture has strengthened what it means to be a Buckeye. So today, we stand to recognize your success. At 45,000 strong, Columbus has the second largest Somali American community in the nation. The Somali American Chamber has been a critical voice for this community. But more importantly, your work has been critical to revitalizing the city of Columbus as well as Central Ohio. Somali American businesses have fueled Ohio's economic resurgence. 7% of all Ohio entrepreneurs are new Americans. This new investment is only one reason why Ohio is ranked as #1 in the nation's best business climates. But outside of statistics, the human impact of the Somali American Chamber is evident all across Central Ohio. Where once stood a vacant city block, now stands a thriving Somali American-owned business. Meanwhile, the Somali American community centers are working hard to combat violence in and on our streets. Having grown up at a time when manufacturing plants and factories were leaving Ohio, I'm proud of this development. Ohio was once the bedrock of middle class, and with your help, it will be again. During my time in Congress, I've also gotten to know many of you. I've learned firsthand about the tragedy that forced many Somali Americans to immigrate to Ohio. You came here with little more than the clothes on your back in pursuit of the American dream, even if you didn't know by name. Your resilience in the face of unspeakable tragedy is one reason why I'm pushing back against this administration's plan to hike up visa fees for asylum applicants. These fee hikes would make it harder for small businesses to recruit workers necessary to grow, while making it more costly for asylum seekers to come to the U.S. We're also working in Washington to remove overzealous regulations that are throttling small business. Small businesses are the lifeblood of Ohio's economy, something the Somali American Chamber knows better than anybody else. In recent years, the Somali American businesses have faced tremendous hurdles. First, a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic that shuttered businesses and exposed the fragility of our supply chain. Then, as the pandemic began to rescind, 40-year high inflation drove up the price of raw materials, making it more expensive than ever to run a small business. Many of you are dealing with these complications, but we will overcome them together. And I'm committed to be a partner for you, the Somali American Chamber, as we work to rebuild our economy. I'll be asking your advice on how Congress can do more to help. So I'm honored to be speaking to you today. Again, I wish I was back in Central Ohio with you, but thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you to Congressman Kerry for the kind words. Now we will be showing the video from Secretary of State Franklin LaRose.
To my friends at the Somali American Chamber of Commerce, hello. It's Frank LaRose, your Ohio Secretary of State, and I just wanted to send you a quick message to say thank you. Just like successive generations of great American immigrant families have done, you all are contributing richly to the culture, to the business life of our state and our nation. This is the story of my family 90 years ago when my great-grandfather immigrated from Italy and started a business. And this is the story that you all are writing for yourselves and for your future generations right now. What you all have done is truly, really remarkable. You're giving back so much culturally to this state. And I know that there are many great things to come. I look forward to all of the things that you all are going to do and have been doing as entrepreneurs. I say thank you for that, and we stand with you. If there's ever anything that we can do at the Secretary of State's office, please don't hesitate to reach out. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great day.
Thank you to Secretary of State Franklin LaRose as well. Let us warmly welcome Representative Dave Dobos to the stage. Thank you for joining us tonight, and we are grateful for your ongoing service to our community.
Feel forward to hear sharing your words and ideas.
Came about 25 years ago when I was serving on the Columbus Board of Education. That is when so many Somali folks started moving to the Columbus area, and we as a board were trying to figure out how can we help folks get that education they need so that they can be part of the fabric of our communities. And through the years, that has taken place. We devoted the resources in the city school district to make this happen. And it's one of the reasons that I see my colleague out there, Representative Abdullahi, it's you and, of course, Representative Mohammed. You know, we now have 2 Somali Americans in our Ohio legislature. And it's a tribute to all of you and the work that you have done to become part of the fabric of the Central Ohio community. My grandparents all came here over 100 years ago from the country of Hungary, just prior to World War I. In fact, my grandfather tells me he in one sense was a refugee and that he knew that Europe was going to war. He came here in 1907. He came just prior to World War I starting. He knew Europe was going to war and he wanted a better life. So with $200 in his pocket, he left a small village in the country of Hungary in Eastern Europe, traveled to the Adriatic Sea, got on a boat, came to America, never to go back again. And he worked all his working life in coal mines and copper mines in the western United States and in West Virginia. And I say this because my parents would tell me the stories when I was growing up of some of the challenges they face being new Americans, if you will, being kids of immigrants, and some of the challenges they face in their greater community. And I said when I got elected to the Board of Education, we can't have those types of challenges. We can't wait 2 generations for me to assimilate and to become part of things. We've got to do this immediately. It's very important for our overall Columbus community that all of us participate meaningfully in the economy. And now with Intel coming to town, with the new battery factory down in Fayette County, with all of the business growth that we're seeing, it's really important not only that we have the type of economic vitality within this community with over 500 members of this Chamber of Commerce, but also for those who don't wish to start businesses, that they are prepared to take really good jobs with those companies that are coming to Columbus. Because we want all of us to be prosperous, and what our office is about, and my guess is what Representative Abdullahi's office is also about, is trying to make sure that everyone has that opportunity here. So I pledge to continue to work with the Chamber, with Shafi, and with any of you who want to, anything we can do, come see us, and we will help in any way we can. Thank you for allowing me to be with you this evening.
Thank you so much, Representative Dobos.
Next, we're going to invite our keynote speaker, Representative Munira Yassin Abdullahi, on stage. Munira has been in the spotlight for quite some time now due to her immense support for Somali businesses in the community overall. Welcome, Munira.
Thank you very much. You know, one thing I love about Somali business people is we're never shackled by the business wear, the ties. Very little ties, and I love that. Everyone wears, you know, different various clothing, and that's part of the beauty of diversity. So today I'm here to address you all to talk about your success mainly, right? And the reason why we have what we have today. Oh, I feel like if this goes off, I'm just gonna keep talking. Don't worry about it, right? So today I stand before you in awe of the incredible journey that you've all brought. You came to this country as immigrants, most of you with nothing. You came maybe not even knowing the language. You came not knowing the system. But today, you're business owners. You built schools. You built hawlad we built this area right here that's so beautiful. And it is such a rare skill that immigrants have to come to a country not knowing the language, not knowing the system, being confused, but we don't take the time to stay confused. We take the time and we go, you know what? We're going to make a business here, we're going to make a home here, and we're going to build a future for our children. And that's what we did. And when the congressman was talking about the numbers, how many small businesses were opened up by new Americans, by immigrants, by refugees like yourselves, it's so amazing. And the reason why Ohio is one of the fastest growing states, Columbus is the fastest growing city in the Midwest, and I'm going to say that's because of the new Americans, because of the immigrants, because of you guys. The Columbus is growing because of you. I got to say it, right? You're building these businesses since 2019. Some of you guys came like 19. What's the oldest that you guys came here? Who came here before 1980? Is there anybody that came here before 1980?
1983.
1983? Look at that. After 1980 is the earliest person. MashaAllah, let's give it a hand. Round of applause to that guy. He's been here for a long time. We are pioneers who paved the way for growth and development in the city. And as immigrants, we carry with us the richness of our diverse cultures, diverse traditions and perspectives, and we make it the foundation of our entrepreneurship. Somali, we don't come and start businesses and build communities and forget our culture. You still have your culture. That's what you know. But you're building these businesses and you're showing other people in Ohio how it's done. We are pioneers. We're building a society, not just for our own people, but for everyone. Our schools have more than Somali kids there. Our businesses serve more than Somali people, right? And it's so beautiful, and I'm so proud to serve you guys as the first Somali woman in office in Ohio. And that work would not have happened without you guys. I would not have made it without you guys. Let me tell you one very amazing thing that I always brag about whenever I go to, I get invited to a lot of places because it's history making, so they invite me to different conferences across the country, mainly, about talking about diversity, my journey, and I always talk about how it was because of Somali businesses that I was able to have a campaign that has integrity. I told myself, hey, let's cover yourself. This is because of you guys. I told people, I remember when I was starting, I told first I started on myself, just volunteers, then I had a campaign consultant, and I told them, I'm not taking any corporate PAC money, and I'm not taking any big super PAC money. I'm only going to take small lobbyists that environment and maybe the Diabetes Association, something that I know I care about, but I'm not taking lobbyist money. Lobbyist money, not that thing. How they give money to candidates, like I see on the candidates, to ask them to do stuff for them. Let's be real, guys. I want to keep it simple. they give money, they donate for favor, influence. I said I'm not taking that. And he was like, how are you going to make money? How are you going to fundraise? How are you going to survive? I said, don't worry, I got it. I got a good community. And we did it. We would not have done that without you guys. And that's the beauty of our community. We support each other. And I love how Shafi was talking about coming together and breaking down the barriers. Khabil, right? Right? The campaign. I didn't know what Khabil was before that, man. And I saw it because I didn't feel it as much. People weren't asking me as much. People were supporting me. They didn't ask me whatever, everybody else. I can see it. They gave me the money, right? And when we come together, my brothers, we have to keep doing that. We have to keep coming together, unifying. Because we're not going to survive if we don't stay together. There's not that many of us. He said 45,000, which is a big number, but that's not that many compared. Ohio has a couple million people. And we're not going to survive if we don't work together. And not just in the Somali community, but the larger Muslim community. My main job is as a director for the masjid. My biggest goal is connecting different Muslim communities together. And not sticking in our little, Hala stay in Masjid Taymiyyah, stay, Masjid Mas, stay at Masjid Abu Bakr. We have to all work together because we're one community. We're one people. We worship one Ilahi. So when we come together as an ummah, that's how we survive. That's how we go forward. Am I right? That's what Prophet ﷺ said. The ummah is like one body. If one hand is hurting, one finger is hurting, everybody should be hurting. So I want you guys to remember that. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep succeeding. Keep making that money. And take that money and give it to the community. Excess. Zakat, more than that actually. Give what you can. Because when you give, your wealth is not diminished, right? What you give will be doubled and returned to you. More. You're going to get extra. More. Ilahi promises already. Your risk is already promised for you. So give what you can to the messages. Give what you can to the organizations. Support the youth. Sponsor the youth. We have so many programs. It's so hard to get. Look, there's youth right there. Sponsor that youth, man. Look at, clap for him too. And all these youth that are here today. They're doing good work. He's doing great work. So look at, before Bahdi Mansa, talk to him. Ask him what he's doing. Ask him what programs he's trying to achieve. Work with the youth. Do you guys know Massive building a new youth center? I'm going to come ask you guys at some point. Be ready. But we need to invest in these centers. We need to invest in these spaces for our children. And for everyone else. For everyone else's children as well. We need to continue investing in our communities. Gantina, right? You're going to get more, inshallah. Jazakallah khair, everyone. Thank you. And thank you for having me. Thank you for the Somali Chamber of Commerce. You guys do amazing work. I'm looking forward to supporting you, inshallah.
Thank you. Let's give another round of applause for Representative Munira.
Thank you so much, Representative Munira. You are an inspiration to many, and I love how you express the beauty of community and the beauty of coming together.
And now a warm welcome to Russ Flickinger, as he is an injury lawyer who has been in collaboration with the Somali community for 30 plus years. Welcome, Russ.
Big mistake. Saturday, 10 o'clock, you're giving the microphone to a lawyer, a trial lawyer that loves to talk. You guys are going to be here all night. And so what I want to do tonight, I want to be completely truthful. While I'm here, and I love all you people, and I enjoy being here, I'm here for one reason only primarily, and that is to network, to build my business, and to make money. And that's what every one of you needs to think about. I'm talking to a small business community. You are not truck drivers owning trucking companies, small businesses. You're not owning daycares. You are small business owners, and you all have to think like small business owners. While I'm sitting over there, I'm sure these gentlemen were saying, why is Russ looking at his phone all the time? I'm on Facebook because I got a whole lot of ads that I put out today for motorcycle stuff that we do, and I got to make sure that I am boosting and hitting as many people as possible. 24/7, I am thinking how to build my business, and I've been doing that for 40 years. If you don't believe me, ask my wife. We go on vacation, and I am told to put my phone into a box. She locks it, and I am not allowed to get it back for 1 week. They get 1 week a year where I leave it alone. I know the Somali community very well, and I know how hard all of you work. I've become friends over the last 25 years with many of you. I have seen you grow. I have seen you do fantastic things with all the businesses and everything else you do. One of the things I'm amazed at is if someone gets hurt, something happens, within 24 hours, you have all come together and taken care of that person. And I just want to say how much I admire the community you all have within Central Ohio. I guess the only thing I want to leave you with today is work hard, try to build your businesses, and when you do take care of yourself and you are able to do the things that you want to do, then it is time that you give back as much as you can to your community. Many years ago, I sat down with my son, who's an attorney with me, and I said, we are making money off of the Somali community. We need to give back. We need to do something more. And in that time, we have given thousands and thousands of dollars back to the community through numerous different organizations, including tonight. You don't need to applaud. I'm not saying that because of that. What I'm saying is, first take care of yourself. Make the money. Make yourself successful. And then make sure you take care of everybody else out there. Thank you very much for having me tonight. I don't want to talk any longer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ross Flickinger.
Now we will introduce onto stage Ezra Escadora, who's representing American for Prosperity. Welcome, Ezra.
As with our other speakers this evening, I appreciate the opportunity to be here this evening
and to share this special night with the Somali American Chamber of Commerce. Over the years, I've been involved tremendously in the community as well as a former past president of the Hispanic Chamber of Columbus here in Ohio, an officer with the Hispanic Chamber in Western Pennsylvania when I lived in Pittsburgh. But more importantly, what I love about this program tonight, it reminds me of my family's own story of coming to this country. My father and mother came here now over 50 years ago, and they struggled. My father didn't know English. My mother didn't know English. She said we would learn, she and I'm the oldest of 3 siblings. We learned English together watching Sesame Street at home. And that's how my mother learned. And my father learned in the marketplace as a goldsmith and the owner of a jewelry store. And all this to say that over the last 50 years of American history, there have been many blessings for newcomers, for new Americans who are the energy. The representative was absolutely right. The new American community revitalizes and reminds America of the promises of her founders and the dreams that successive generations of Americans have had. And something has changed over the last 50 years. You know, we've discovered in our homes, especially in the last few years of COVID, that in many of our schools, they are undermining the traditional values that sustain our families and that keep our cultures together and that represent the most closely held beliefs we hold dear. And we've had government leaders look at business owners and say, well, if you own a small business, you didn't build that. I'm sorry, yes we did. For the women and men who've worked hard in shops, behind the wheel of trucks, in warehouses, wherever it's been, to build that business. And I can attest, even for my sisters and my part, we missed out on a lot of after-school activities because our parents needed us at home, and when we were old enough, needed us at the business to play our little part to help. We revitalized this country's economy and energy, and we need to also learn how to have more influence in public policy, to defend our values and our principles, to lift up our own voices. And on behalf of Americans for Prosperity, I'm not here to offer any solutions to you to solve your problems. I'm here to hopefully to work together with this community so that we can solve our problems together and we can share those experiences and have a more effective voice in Columbus, downtown on Capitol Square, and in Washington, D.C. So again, I'm really happy to be here this evening. Congratulations to the Somali American Chamber. Many more years of success, and I look forward to coming back next year, too. Thank you.
Thank you for such inspiring words, Ezra. Now we're welcoming District Director of U.S. Small Business Administration, Everett Woodell, on stage. Welcome, Everett.
A couple years ago, Terry, through some relationships, we decided we, as a federal agency, had done a poor job of reaching out to our diverse chambers, whether they be the Somali American Chamber, the Hispanic Chamber, the Asian American Commerce Group. So we got together, but I really wanted you as chamber members to know and realize the leadership that you have in Shafi. He brought us together, we sat down, and we decided to build some coalitions, some strategic alliances between the diverse chambers. That was very important. Then we brought the Ohio Chamber in, and we signed a strategic alliance with them. That is opening up opportunities for the Somali community. If you're not at the table, you're what's for lunch. That's what an old adage, right? So we need to make sure you're at the table. And with the Hispanic Chamber layer, we have built this coalition and we're making sure that you have opportunities. Through this partnership, we brought Intel to the table. They sat down and spoke with Somali small businesses as well. 7,000 truck drivers. That's important. right? It's very critical to the logistics in Central Ohio. So this isn't about me. This is about your leadership and his willingness to sit down and think differently, to bring groups together. We now have a strategic alliance where the Somali Chamber, the Hispanic Chamber, and the Asian Commerce Group are working together to pursue contracts, whether federal or state. Think about that. That was unheard of just 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. So we're extremely excited. So Shafi, I think it's important for the chamber members to know it was your leadership. We've had coffee many times and sat down and had those discussions. And Terry, it wouldn't have been possible without your leadership and your understanding through ODOT and the Somali community. And then we got together. So for me, I just want you to know what your leadership is doing to try to make it better for all of you as entrepreneurs. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Everett. Now welcoming representative of Hispanic Chamber of Commerce, Lair Marin Markham. Welcome, Lair.
Thank you again. I was probably going to be one of the last, so I will try to be as fast as possible. But I know that by now, hopefully, we are going to be friends. I have been meeting many of you throughout the community. I have worked with the Hispanic Chamber for over 20 years, and also with Ohio Chambers for many as well, and with many of the other cities in Ohio. With Cincinnati, Cleveland, Dayton, Akron, Canton, and Toledo, I have reached out to all our entrepreneurs and have brought them together. And I'm hoping that continuing the work here with the Somali community is going to be even more inspiring. We share a lot of faith. We share a lot of diversity and a lot of cultural backgrounds. We are going through some of the same sufferings, and we sometimes feel like we're at the bottom of that food chain in entrepreneurial and businesses with our communities. I would like to be able to reach out, to continue to collaborate, to continue to partner. Our first MOU with the Somali Chamber took place over a year ago, and also with the Asian Pacific and Islanders. It is really exciting to see a wonderful group of entrepreneurs, of community members here tonight that I didn't see 25 years ago when I came here. So, like many of you, I am very inspired. It is very emotional, and it's also great to see a representative that's a woman in our Congress. Thank you so much to all of you. And continue fighting. You can do it, and in Spanish we say, sí se puede. Thank you for having me here today.
Thank you, Lair. Now we will invite Mohammed Dalmar, owner of Jake Freights, onto stage to give us a speech. Welcome, Mohammed.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. كل Somali ما كو هذا الدونا بدأنا Somali لو بدي أنت إنجليش كده كو هذا الشيء والله يبقى هذا كل شعبي يمشي قاعد هذا أوجان لها وهم الناس يسود بهذه لكن وحن آدي أبو مهلين يا حفتنا قروح البدن ماشى لينفع السومي شافي يجرود كيسة يكومينتي الصومالي ده يعاو هذا صوتي من runtii aad iyo aad baad ugu mahadsantihiin imaatankiina iyo kasoo qaybgalkiina shirkan sidan u quruxda badan ee masaajidadeennii iyo communitigeennii iyo macallimiinteennii iyo aqoon-yahanadii ay joogaan keliya hal arrinba caawa aniga maskaxdayda si aad iyo aad ugu soo noqonaysa wuxuu yidhi shaafi nambarkii toban muxuu ahaa 13,670 lambar noocaas oo kale ah oo ganacsiyo Soomaaliya baa magaalada ku yaalay arrintaas waxay ahayd arrin aan u malaynayo kulli cid badan oo ku baraarugsanina ma jirto aniguna hore uma ogeyn marka aad iyo aad baad ugu mahadsantihiin shaqo abuurka iyo inaad waddankan ka shaqaysateen oo ka faa'iidaysateen oo wax ka barateen oo ku ganacsateen